Since emotions are a highest state of development of evolution, emotions belong to empathy, to a relationship between the environment and ourselves. So emotions are senses, and we have different kind of emotions. So now I'm gonna explore little by little the 8 emotions we have seen before in the last video, 2 videos ago, and let's see how these relate with our experience and with our way of understanding or seeing the world. I'm using the paradigm of evolutionary paradigm because it's easier to relate with it. But it's not the only paradigm that we might use in order to come with similar conclusions. Will help us to understand this movement from inorganic matter to consciousness. So the more we move in this time frame, the more evolved we are. That's the logic of Darwin. Now, that has been discussed and has been not debunked but attacked in a way that is very subtle, and that's why we have a transhumanism today. So let's see what's happening here. Right now is clearly a contradiction between the findings of evolutionary medicine, evolutionary psychology, and all those kind of disciplines in relation to emotions, because our brain, our physical brain, you can see it, it evolves in terms of recognizing evolution. So, and the main change here is that it's in programming. Our inferior animals, the animals that are not mammals, they react instinctively. So basically, everything they do through like an automatic process. So they react, and go through the process of life in like a little machine. Rene Descartes talk about animals being little machines, automaton, he called them. But really, yes, we can see that maybe just from our perspective, but we have the neocortex, and we have all these new glands and all this new part of the body of the brain that are superior because they come after the other side, the reptilian side, and they make us relate to our world with free will. Emotions let us live with free will. So emotions let us make our own decisions, inform all decisions. That's why they are so important, and we cannot neglect it. Who are neglecting this is because they are trying to institutionalize excuse me, a world where some part of the population will have emotions because there's where we're alive, and some part of the population, like in the Brave New World, like epsilons, for example, won't have emotions and will be very happy without emotions in the positions they are, because they're going to be fulfilling their automatic behavior. Analyzing the emotions one by one now. Joy, for example, is telling us that this is a positive situation, that we should enjoy that place. We should keep doing that. Trust indicates that in that situation we can relax, we can accept that situation. Fear, in exchange, is telling us that there's something wrong, and this can evolve to terror depending what's going on. So it's giving information, important information, that maybe our ears or our eyes are not able to do it. Surprise, only feelings can notice surprise. Something that happens all of a sudden, and it can have a positive or a negative outcome. So it put your adrenaline on and your vigilance on. Sadness, on the other hand, help us to come to terms with the situation of loss, for example. So sadness help us to decrease anxiety, depression, and feelings like that. Disgust, it's the opposite to trust. And disgust basically is telling us that we have to get rid of that situation, person, or anger is immediately trying to defend ourselves from something that happened and is basically a feeling that protects us. Anticipation is an important feeling because anticipation can help us to run from a situation, or also to think about a situation as a good thing to do and encourage it for ourselves, like anticipating what's going to happen after I finish the university, or after I finish reading this book, or watching this video. And I want to show you something practical and concrete, and I think you're going to understand what I'm trying to explain in a more direct and simple way. So here we have a clip, and this clip can be undone and make it a wire. And but my idea with this clip is to show you how our left brain, our right brain, and our emotions can work perceiving this wire. Let's assume that this wire is copper. Okay, so if we analyze, if we see this wire in terms of our analytical brain, what we're going to see is something practical. Weight, size, dimensions, density, strength, and so forth. Those is the kind of thing we will fix our attention. And or we can make something with it, like for example, I make this, we can call it spiral. No? I make it with this pen, and this can be also change the shape and make something bigger like that, like a ring. The second way we're gonna see our little project is like an aesthetic form. So this, or an object of art. This is the raw material, and this is the final product, and we can see an enormous difference. We can see many things. We can see the texture, we can see the colors, we can see the arrangement, we can see the size of it. So we can see a number of different things, that we can see the mixture and the combination of the colors, the roughness of the style, so we can make a judgment in terms of beauty. And in terms of beauty, I'd say that this is a fragile object that has the beauty of connecting colors and metals, and can help to be an adornment of a hand. Third, now we gonna use our emotions as a way of knowing. And this ring, in terms of emotions, called me for many memories. I remember the person who gave it to me, when she gave it to me, why she gave it to me, how was the day. It was a rainy day. I was in a car, in the back of a car. She got into the car and she wrote it in her hand and put it in my hand, just like that. And since that day, I have this ring. Sometimes I wear it. Sometimes I don't. But my emotional connection is when I see this ring or when I think about this ring. That thinking, that it's a thinking with a feeling, and the feeling I have here is joy, is sadness, is fear. It was a surprise when she gave it to me. It's sadness because she is not around anymore. Sometimes it's anger because she completely left without saying almost goodbye. So you understand there is a mixture of feelings that make me think about the relationship and about this person in a unique way that is not aesthetic, that is not analytic. I perceive this ring in a way that is personal, is unique. An object that can lead me to an inner world, my personal inner world, and someone else's inner world as well. So the value and the beauty of this is nothing to do with the material has been built. It's completely separate from that. It's connected with something else, something personal, something unique that is only talks to me. So ants and frogs and insects cannot understand this kind of feelings. Dogs, cats, elephants, hippopotamus, giraffe, they do. And at a certain level understand these feelings, and you can tell. But for us, since we integrate analytical, aesthetic, and emotional together, we can be much more subtle, and we can create language, and we can create art. So the value of this ring is personal, and the emotions that we connect with an element, an object of the external world, just because there was a relationship, good or bad, it creates in us ways of seeing reality that are impossible to conceive without feelings. Impossible. Think about it. Think about it. Impossible. The cherry for the pie in terms of value, in analytical analysis, probably it will give to a wire like this like a value of 20 cents maybe, and since it has like two different metals, maybe 25 cents will be the cost of it. Let's say $1. If we analyze it in terms of aesthetic, we can say that this ring is beautiful, is nice, is ugly, is simple, is complex, is, many things we can say about it in terms of beauty, in terms of the form and content, the way that it's integrated. And in terms of emotions, I can say that the value of this ring is not for sale, or the beauty of this ring is not for a museum, or not for an exposition. It just talks to me because it's a feeling that was created between two human beings. And even if the feeling is not there anymore, every time I see this, I feel something somewhere inside of me that is calling, remember me, the meaning of this ring. Thank you.